Chef Alex with more advice, this time when we're talking beverages.
I'm Chef Alex Guarnaschelli. Nothing is better than bringing friends and family around the dinner table to enjoy a home-cooked meal paired with good wine and good company during the holiday season. But the holidays can be stressful. I have a few tips. People often ask me, which is better, stuffing or dressing? If yours seems dry, pour some chicken broth flavored with a splash of wine. I like to use Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi's Red Blend or Chardonnay to give it richness and flavor. I also like to anticipate unexpected guests with a nice warm drink. My Woodbridge White Hot Chocolate with caramel sauce is perfect. The Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi Cabernet Sauvignon gives a twist on a classic caramel sauce. The wine has notes of chocolate and toasted marshmallow, a delicious complement to this dessert drink. For more tips and my favorite recipes, including my vegetable lasagna, follow Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi on Facebook and go to woodbridgewines.com to find retailers near you.
Thanks to Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi for sponsoring that segment.